Welcome to the E-Show with Neil Ravin. With over 1,000 NCAA commitments, the EHL is the proven path to college. Turn it up and learn more about the college placement leader at the Division II and III levels.
Welcome to the E-Show, presented by the Penalty Box Foundation. The Foundation's mission centers around their daily motto: we take care of our own, as they help out all of those within the hockey community who've experienced a catastrophic event. Learn more at penaltyboxfoundation.org. What's up? My name is Neil Ravin. This is episode number 84 of the E-Show. And on this week's episode, we welcome Jake Adkins and Andy Walker to the podcast. Adkins and Walker are a pair of forwards heading into their junior year at UMass Boston, but they're also known as the Men in Blades. Last summer, Adkins and Walker rollerbladed from Massachusetts to Michigan in an effort to raise money for the American Cancer Society. Fast forward a year later, and it's time for version number 2 of the Men in Blades. Coming up on Saturday, August 21st, Adkins and Walker will be hosting a 10K event at Braintree High School as they continue in their efforts to raise money for ACS. I'm joined now by Jake Adkins and Andy Walker from UMass Boston. How's it going, guys?
Good. Thanks for having us.
And thanks for coming on the podcast. We're recording this on August 11th, dropping the episode August 12th, a little over a week away from what you're calling Men in Blades 2, version 2. Who came up with the idea for the Men in Blades, the name, though?
The name?
Jake, you take it away.
We kind of went back and forth on thinking of names. I think I ended up coming with the Men in Blades one, but Andy and I both came up with the fundraiser idea in general, and we had originally thought of Blader Boys as being one of the ideas, and that quickly dissipated. And I think Men in Blades, it stuck. It kind of ran with the Men in Black thing, and I think it was kind of clever to do the suits, and obviously we look like a bunch of clowns, but I think that's kind of the point, is to have something positive and get people laughing. So,
and I think most people know what version 1 was, but it was a skate for you guys from Massachusetts to Michigan. So you say that the Men in Blades idea was kind of both of you in general, but one of you had to have the idea first to skate that far, right?
Yeah, so it kind of started, we just bought rollerblades kind of out of the blue, hoping that we would play some roller hockey and kind of stay in shape. And then Corona hit, and next thing we knew, we were just blading around the city, and we kept going further and further every day. And that just turned into us. One day, I looked at Jake and just said, how much money would it take to go all the way to LA? And we kind of talked about it. We looked into it a bunch, and then turned out we decided Michigan was a more suitable and realistic goal. And I think it took us probably a week or two to decide that American Cancer Society would be our donations, and then kind of just started planning from there.
And you completed the skate this past year from Massachusetts to Michigan. For those that don't know, Jake is an alumni of the New Hampshire Avalanche. Andy technically is not an alumni of the Eastern Hockey League, but it feels like you kind of are because there's been so much that you've done together. Obviously, being teammates at UMass Boston, how quickly did you guys just form the connection with each other?
Well, as soon as the season ended last year, pretty much everyone on the whole team left. Andy and I were good buddies the whole season. And then as soon as everyone left, Andy and I stayed during COVID. We just stayed in Boston together and ended up moving in together. And out of utter boredom, you saw us rollerblade across the country. So
maybe we should move in together.
Yeah.
Now, after you complete that trip, obviously, people kind of picked up the story as you were on the journey and a lot more afterwards. When did you guys have to kind of pinch yourself and realize we just did something pretty special?
It took a while for it to sink in, honestly. Probably we took like a month off from doing anything in general after. And I guess just as soon as we saw the big check come in for American Cancer Society, and we gave it to Teresa Freeman, who's our representative for there. It really just was like, wow, I literally can't even believe this, but we got to keep it going. We gotta add on to that running total. And we started brainstorming ideas, and number one idea was never rollerblade that far again.
Okay, I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
We got that out of the way.
Yeah, I got that one out of the way.
Well, what was the recovery process like? Like, I can't even imagine how sore you guys were.
Yeah, I mean, I know I stayed back in Michigan for 2 weeks and didn't really do anything. Just laid in the AC. And then when I came back to Boston, I met up with Jake. Obviously, I moved everything back in, and I think he was still sleeping one morning. I was like, oh, I should do a body squat. Went to do a body squat, fell down. I was like, oof. Maybe some stretch. So I think probably 3 weeks in, I was doing body weight stuff again.
Okay. And during the journey, were there ever moments when you said to yourself, like, we're not going to make it to Michigan?
I'd say almost every day we had, I mean, it was like 100 miles a day close to, so we'd have our moments where we're like, all right, we got this, we're doing well. And then you have the other side of the day where you're like, oh my God, like I can't believe how hard this is.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it was just all the people following us and in support of us. And we just kept seeing the donations go up. So we knew that we absolutely couldn't turn back.
Yep. And then, I said the pinch yourself line earlier. When you get nominated for the Hockey Humanitarian Award later on that year, was that an even bigger moment for you guys after the check?
Yeah, I think. Oh, sorry.
We'll let the siren pass by.
But yeah, I think both of us. I know when we got accepted, we took about a week to apply for the Hockey Humanitarian, and once we got accepted as one of the finalists, it was a huge moment. I know there was a few interviews in there, and we were super excited just to be a part of being in that elite group of humanitarian finalists. I know we were both pretty bummed out when we didn't receive the award, but I think that's just going to push us and strive us to do something like this event, and hopefully it takes off and helps out.
Well, that's a great transition then, because was it not receiving that award, or was it the money that you raised? What was the bigger motivator to come back a year later and do something else?
Definitely the money.
Okay.
I know the award might look good on our resumes, and obviously it would have been a feel-good award, but I think seeing all that money we raised was unbelievable feeling, at least for me. I know Jake feels the same way as well.
And you guys immediately crossed off skating that far again. So how did you come up with the 10K idea that you've come up with for this year?
Well, we knew we wanted to do something where we could incorporate the public. And I think that with all the stuff with COVID pretty much slowing down and everyone being more comfortable with going out and being together, we thought it would be a great opportunity to have everyone congregate together again. And we entitled it the Back to School Blade-a-thon, because that's really what it is. We're all coming back to school in 2 weeks after the event, and it's just a chance for all of us to come and meet together, do all the things we make up for lost time, basically. And
are you rollerblading in this?
So we talked about it. I think we're gonna do the roller. We got a lot of stuff to coordinate on the day of and make sure it all goes swimmingly.
Okay.
And we were gonna rollerblade the day before, record a time, and then have that time be like the Men in Blades Club. So if you finished before that time, then you made it into the club. Okay.
So for the participants that have signed up so far, is it kind of a mixed bag of people that are skating, walking, and running?
Yeah, I would say so. I know some of the ACS crew, being their siblings or spouses, I believe they are walking, maybe even skateboarding. a bunch of our friends will be skating, and I'm assuming all the hockey teams that sign up will be skating. But there's also a ton of young kids and parents who I believe will be walking.
Was that a cool part to see other colleges in the area, as quickly as they did sign up for this event?
Yeah, I think that was awesome. Just even though they're rivals on the ice, we can all get together and support the same cause. I think that feels incredible.
And in terms of your college, how much has the UMass Boston community kind of got behind you guys? And when you're walking around campus nowadays, do people recognize you?
I haven't walked around campus.
Yeah,
in quite some time.
Fair enough. But how is like the athletic department with the stories that they posted and stuff? How have they got behind what you guys have been doing?
Oh, it's incredible.
I think they've been Seth's been a huge part of this whole journey. He's gotten most of the staff, if not all the staff, on board to do everything they could, especially on our first journey. So that was a huge part, all the stories, and he continued this year with shooting our promo video, which was awesome. So it's been incredible. The staff has been second to none in support.
And was there any conversation, I have to ask you guys, was there any conversation to get your coach out there skating with you guys?
Oh, we should tell him to bring the blades. I know he's gonna be in attendance.
Okay.
I talked to him yesterday about it. So he'll be there for support, probably to speak on behalf of the school as well. But we do got to get him a pair of blades, so I'd love to see him flying around.
Did he say you guys were crazy when you were skating as far as you did last year?
Oh, yeah. He said we were nuts.
Yeah.
But most people would say, oh, you guys are like, that sounds crazy. You're crazy. But honestly, the first thing he said was, oh, like, I want to make sure you guys are safe. Like, just be safe. Like, wear helmets. Like,
Yeah.
when you go into places, because it was right in the heart of COVID. And
yeah,
that really hit different. Like, it hit different because he was so caring in that way.
And that's and you guys had like a team following you, which obviously you're in the spotlight being the two kids that are skating across the country there. But can you talk more about the team that was kind of following you on the journey?
Yeah, the team was assembled. It was two of my high school friends and then one of Jake's Colorado friends. I believe they went to high school together. And they were incredible. I know they kind of put their needs aside. And I can't even imagine. I still tip my hat to them driving 10 miles an hour for 10 days straight, but never once complained. They knew, they had to deal with us and we weren't always pleasant when we'd stop. So I definitely tip my hat to them. Without them, I don't think we would have made it to Worcester.
Are they all involved again this year?
Yeah, I think, I know Sydney's coming and Dante will be there. I believe Erin's on a family trip, but she's still trying to get out.
And there's been teams like the Providence Bruins who have gotten on board with you guys this year. When it comes to organizations that are as big as that are getting involved, again, I don't want to reuse this line, but you have to kind of pinch yourself and say, like, we're actually making a pretty big name for ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, it feels incredible to have all the support that we do, and I think that having Sam Boney out there is going to be really cool for the kids.
You'll be flying around.
Yeah, all age groups welcome, and I don't know. I do feel like I have to pinch myself sometimes. It is a lot. It is pretty overwhelming.
And this event is coming up for those keeping along at home. It's coming up on Saturday, August 21st at Braintree High School. And can people sign up kind of right up until the event? Could they even walk up that day?
Yeah, I know we talked about it. Oops, sorry. We have meetings normally weekly or bi-weekly with ACS. And I think that was one of the big things we wanted. Because I know even our friends haven't signed up, some of our teammates. So So I think if you just walk up, you want to sign up, you're free to do so. It's at Braintree High School. If you wanted to sign up beforehand, I believe there's a link maybe you can pop up or send out.
Okay. And like with this, when I'll post this as well, I'll make sure to include that donation link combined together so that you guys can say the number out loud to make yourselves feel even more proud. How much have you raised in 2 years behind this Men in Blades name?
Over probably about 34,000 now.
Okay. That's pretty special.
Yep.
And people can donate right up until the event, correct?
Yep. And I believe what we're going to do is have Andy and I sitting at the stand, signing people in, checking them in, getting their t-shirts and stuff. And if you're not currently signed up, you can pay cash or just sign up right there on the website. I can walk people through it, but you can sign up right until the day of the event. It starts at 9 a.m. and I believe we're going to be doing check-in from 8 to 9. So,
okay, cool. Well, I'll be making my donation after we post this as well. And then for me personally, guys, the next time I'll see you is our exhibition game, which is on Saturday, October 23rd. We get to finally bring this back, Team EHL versus UMass Boston. So we'll see you guys then.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to The E-Show. Learn more at easternhockeyleague.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Also, be sure to subscribe and get notified when next week's podcast is released.